Hello! Now, every weekday is an opportunity for us to spend our mornings with you.
Yes, indeed, and we like it very much every time you tune in and start your day with us.
Well, you know, it's even better when you stay tuned for the whole 3-hour show. It's a 3-hour experience, we like to call it. My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And I am Yomi Ope. Now, we are streaming live right now at tvcontinental.tv, better believe it. And check us out at Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments on our social media platforms using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Yes, join our online community. Download our app from any Android or iOS store to watch us from all your mobile devices from anywhere in the world. You know we love to connect with you, so we can't wait.
Yeah, so it's going to be a special day. Looking forward to quite a bit. Now, we have a trip to take this morning because we know that you like all these journeys that we take.
We have updates when it comes to tech and all the artificial intelligence that's set to take over our world. Mike is going to be bringing us up to date on all those issues.
And check us out, we have an artiste joining us. Young Krez is going to be stealing the spotlight with a performance this morning.
And as always on a Monday morning, we're bringing you nuggets of history that motivate us to go out there and make positive histories of our own.
Also to motivate us this fine Monday morning, Coach Triple A is back, and he's going to be talking to us about how to move on from stagnation, from where you are to where you want to be. Very important.
Very important. And then we also have our auto segment from Automedics. Ayo Shofelau is back. Now she'll be giving us more info on this hybrid vehicles and how different they are from conventional ones. We started this series about a few weeks ago, and we're still on it.
And then, of course, we're going to be bringing you another special performance. That will be coming from Justin David, who's a recording artist and who's also a professional karaoke anchor.
I've never heard of a karaoke anchor before.
He's going to tell us what that means.
And for SME this week, we are going the liquid route this morning. Now we'll be joined by the CEO of Eventi Cocktails, Lara Rawa. Now she's one loud voice in a very male-dominated industry. Well, you know, it's interesting. We have quite a few things to talk about today. But one of the most significant things that happened over the weekend was when a video came out. Do you remember that video that came out?
Yeah.
With Rugged Man being the lead in that action film. Sorry. I'm laughing about it now because he himself has, you know, laughed it off. But it was something serious that really serious that happened. He was attacked by 4 young men in a restaurant in the UK, and now he's just saying it's okay, he's fine, he's, you know, he even deactivated comments on his posts and all that. But I don't know, what's your opinion on this particular issue?
Well, I don't know. Normally, usually, when it comes to London attacks, I think of knives and all of that. And incidentally, this didn't happen. So we're happy he's okay.
Yeah.
And I guess it's still being investigated. So maybe when we get the reports from investigation, we'll be sure exactly what happened. But yeah, good. He looked good. So
he didn't look like
he didn't look ruffled up.
But it was a really serious attack. It was really serious, like 4 against 1, you know. And so from what it looks like he escaped, but goodness knows what actually happened.
I just wonder who took that video and posted it, you know, at the time they did. But, you know, with everything that's happened, I mean, apart from the fact that we're glad that he's okay, this is the kind of thing that sparks reprisal attacks from different people, gang wars and things like that. Something starts with a very little issue. You would think that it's little, then after a few months, you don't even know where it really started from, when everybody's fighting and killing one another. So it might start with hands now, move to knives. Before you know it, people are pulling out guns. So it's really important that whatever happens, whatever beef is going on, you know, try to squash it.
If that was the US, I would really panic about the guns. But the UK, there are strict laws about guns. There's more of knives in the UK. But the fact remains that Whoever owns that restaurant, I said I was going to do a research to find out who owns that restaurant, but I didn't get the chance to. But I intend to. You know why? Did you see his tweets? Man said, while the whole craziness was going on, the owner of the restaurant was just saying, who is paying for the meal? Have they paid for your meal? Like, he wasn't bothered about the attack or whatever drama was going on. His own problem was, I hope someone has paid the bills for this meal that has just been eaten. And I found that very interesting. Probably
I think it's just a businessman watching out for his business, yeah?
I'm sure there'll probably still be some more information that'll come out.
Yes, of course, after investigation has been carried out.
But it's about time for us to take our news update. And Yomi, it's all yours.
Yes, indeed. Now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, said it has conducted a preliminary risk assessment on Ebola virus disease and that the overall risk of importation of the disease into Nigeria from the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda is low. The NCDC said this became imperative following the spread of the disease from the Democratic Republic of Congo to Uganda. Outbreaks of Ebola are known to bear the risk of international spread, hence the rationale for continual evaluation of Nigeria's potential risk amidst regional trade and flight route within the African continent. The NCDC further added that it has improved point-of-entry screenings in major airports and that the Port Health Services Unit of the Federal Ministry of Health was on alert and has heightened screening measures at entry points at Nigerian ports. The Gombe State government has recovered 21 sport utility vehicles, 1 armored vehicle, and 20 tricycles. The chairman of the State Asset Recovery Committee says the last administration illegally disposed of the items and has pledged to retrieve more. Correspondent Lanre Adefemi has details.
It all started with an inspection of the empty state warehouses by Governor Muhammadu Yaya, which revealed that almost all items listed in the inventory are missing.
And there is nothing now on ground. There's nothing. Yes, sir.
Exotic vehicles, complete integrated bakery equipment, metal fabrication machines, and tricycles. These are some items the Asset Recovery Committee says it has gotten back from officials of the immediate past administration in Gombe State. It alleges that due process was not followed in allocating these assets to beneficiaries in the last days of the administration.
The procedure and the processes of disposing government properties considered by this committee was not proper. And that's why you can see what we have recovered from them, and it is a continuous process. We will continue with the recovery until we are able to get all government properties.
But there were questions about how much assets are missing or inappropriately disposed of. The committee chairman later reveals that many of the items were voluntarily returned, as more individuals have indicated their willingness to return government assets in their custody.
We are using this forum to appeal to His Excellency the former governor, his Commissioner of Finance, the immediate past Commissioner of Finance, who is in possession of 4 exotic SUVs, to please attend the request we are making.
Former top officials of the state have been invited to account for missing government assets. Controversy has surrounded the sale or allocation of Gombe State government properties to individuals in the last days of the immediate past administration. Lanre Adefemi, TVC News, Gombe.
And the management of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company says the blackout in Ondo South Senatorial District is due to a decay of electricity cables. Power was restored just before the general election, but residents say that was a political move because power has now been cut off again. Ayodeji Moyadeyo has more on this report.
Protests like these have become a norm in Ondo South Senatorial District following years of total blackouts. Youths in the area have staged protests to draw the attention of the federal government to the plight of the 6 council areas affected by the blackout. However, the problem was fixed shortly before the 2019 general election. The electricity supply was short-lived as the people heaved a temporary sigh of relief.
You have refused to give us light. One thing we want you to understand is this. If we have been giving light, more than 10, 15 companies will spring up here.
Addressing reporters on the issue, Executive Director of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Ife Oyedele, denied that the electricity problem was fixed because of the election. He speaks further on what is responsible for the temporary supply of electricity to the area.
What we're doing presently is to repair the second line that goes from Ore to Ondo and ensure that the second transformer is brought back into the network. Now, there's no, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is not in competition with the social media rats. We're a very serious and responsible government.
Oyedele assured the people that the company will ensure that power is restored to the affected areas.
I want to assure the people of Ondo South Central District that work is going on there, that when eventually they have their power supply restored, they will be proud of this government. We have not abandoned the site. We're working to ensure that the people are not shortchanged.
It is hoped that the assurance given by Oyedele will bring an end to the agony the people are passing through as a result of the blackout. Ayodeji Muradeyo, TVC News, Akure, Ondo State.
Now, over to East Africa, where Sudan's former president, Omar al-Bashir, has been charged with corruption-related offenses as he appeared in public for the first time since he was overthrown in April. Wearing traditional white robes and a turban, he was driven to the prosecutor's office in Khartoum. Looking much the same before his ouster, he walked briskly from the vehicle into the building, smiling and speaking with the guards escorting him. But minutes later, he walked out with a frown. Prosecutors say the former leader was accused of possessing foreign currency and accepting gifts in an unofficial manner. He was reportedly given a chance to respond to the charges, but his lawyers didn't address the media afterwards. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. The weather update is next, and after that, sports.
Yeah, okay, so let's start with the Guardian newspaper this morning. It says, controversy intensifies over EU election report. Verdict tears apart ruling opposition parties. INEC to review party registration guidelines as EU faults polls. How Buhari's non-assent to electoral bill undermined commission. Rights body calls for Mahmoud's resignation. A lot more information on page 6 of The Guardian. It also says here, police confirm bandits killing of 34 persons in Zamfara. Africa needs $98 million to contain Ebola next month, says WHO. Nigerians must learn from Rwandan genocide experience, Gambari warns. And an editorial here, it says Emefiele's reappointment as CBN governor. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, let's check out the Vanguard. Insecurity. Parents now afraid to send children to school, says UNICEF. Will deal with marauding herdsmen, RA of Kakamfo in council. New security policy for Lagos coming, says Sanwo-Olu. Efforts to combat menace in place, Ekiti government. And Buhari Northwest governors working to tackle insurgency, says presidency. And up here, leading corporates peg expenses below inflation. That's a special report. And Aisha Buhari Sanwo-Olu seek end to drug abuse. That's a story on page 35. And INEC server controversy. Atiku denies planning street protest. And Apapa gridlock. Truck drivers flout presidential order as chaos persists. And Ganduje orders probe of Kano Zoo's 6.8 million naira swallowed by a gorilla. And then Nigeria, world's 16th least peaceful country, says the report. On 2019 polls, why Army got into trouble, GOC. Ministerial nominees, governorship candidates battle others for state slots. And finally, bailout funds, restructured loans to states, says CBN. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Yeah, so gorilla?
That's the new story.
Wow.
So first it was a snake, then it was a monkey, now it's a gorilla.
Interesting. We have the Punch newspaper up next. It says public secondary schools turned into hideouts by hoodlums as facilities rot. Government has abandoned school monitoring, says the NUT. Now, there's some really sad images there of public schools all over the country that don't look like public schools. They don't look the way public schools should look anyway. It also says here on power distribution, it says power distribution firms owe transmission company 230 billion naira. It also says on Osun poll, Supreme Court hears Adeleke PDP's appeal today. There's an editorial here. It says June 12, Punch's triumph in 25-year legal battle. And that has to do with the invasion and sealing off of the business premises in 1994. And their triumph over that. It also says here the NCDC conducts risk assessment on Ebola. And finally, Abiodun reverses Amosun's policy on Mapoli. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
All right, let's look at the Daily Sun. That's the final paper for this hour. And PDP, APC fight over EU report on 2019 polls. Observers' comments, confirmation of rigging, says PDP. Your claim myopic, Keyamo, replies opposition party. It's vindication of our position on INEC server, says the Vaughan DG. Up here we have how we'll secure Southeast from herdsmen, Ahaneze youths. And down here, we've got Atiku versus Buhari have confidence in God, says Atiku, and denies tweet threatening street protests over server examination request. And federal government to officially protest Nigerians' killings in South Africa. Police torture, mob action unacceptable, says Envoy. That's a story on page 3. And deadlock over inauguration of Edo Assembly. Pro-Oshomole Obaseki lawmakers flex muscles on choice of speaker. And down here, we've got INEC unveils plans on party registration, pre-election suits, others. That's a story on page 6. And on the cover, we have an interesting picture. Vice President Osinbajo, Deputy Senate President, that's the new Deputy Senate President, Ovie Amoagege, and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and of course the mother of the Vice President at a church service in the Villa yesterday. It's a Father's Day church service.
And that's all we have on the headlines in the papers for now. It's about time for us to take a quick break.
Yeah.
And hopefully we won't see any gorillas on the way back.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's time for Lagos traffic updates right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, please note that you can always be a part of this segment by sending a message on Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter to let us know what your traffic situation is wherever you may be, and perhaps take a traffic selfie, a super cute one too. Well, it's Monday, and when you hear Monday, everybody goes, because of traffic, yes, because today isn't a public holiday after all. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the updates from even further than we usually do, okay? So say, for example, going to Oshodi, we're not just going to start from Yanokwaja, we're going to go from Ikwaja this morning. So if you're coming from Ikwaja, the road is actually very free. It continues like that until you are approaching Moshalashi area. That's where the traffic starts, and the traffic continues until you get to Yanokwaja. But if you're passing through Ikwaja, you can always decide to do a detour. Yeah, make a detour around Alagunton. You would experience some traffic, but halfway through heading to the expressway, you would realize that the traffic will ease off. So that would save you 10 minutes, but just 10 minutes. If you don't want to pass through that route, you can go straight to Yanokwaja. Heading to Yanokwaja isn't that much traffic laden anyway, so it won't be as bad as you would have thought, but you will still experience traffic, okay? And so when you're approaching Dokpemu area, especially when you connect from Alagunton to Dokpemu, there is traffic. Like, I'm not going to coat it with sugar or anything. There is traffic, and the traffic is bumper to fender, straight to Dokpemu Bridge, through Dokpemu Bridge, heading to Ikeja along. And guess what? There is no reprieve. I mean, all the way from just before Dokpemu till you get to Ikeja, there is traffic, and the traffic is bumper to fender. Not a good one this morning, traffic-wise. So expect to spend about an hour in that traffic. Unlike the usual, maybe 45 minutes in that on that length of road. And then when you get to Ikeja, it's actually free-flowing. See, you only experience, you encounter traffic when you're around the arena shopping area, okay? So from Ikeja to Oshodi. Way to go this morning. And talking about way to go, well, not to Oshodi, to Bolade, that is, because the traffic begins at Bolade and it goes on to Oshodi Bridge. But you can make a detour by passing through Bolade to connect to Oshodi. Now, I wonder how you guys got here this morning, especially you, Yomi. Was there any traffic on your way here?
Oh, no,
I noticed you came really early.
I got in really early. There was no traffic. Roads were free. Took me just about 30 minutes. So it's straightforward.
30 minutes from Lekki to here, it just feels like a dream sometimes. Like 30 minutes.
It was a breeze. It was a breeze.
Wow.
It was really early in the morning. Yeah, but we have a few updates here. I've got giddy traffic.
Okay.
Here it says there's congestion already building at Moshalashi bus stop. That's on Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway due to failed portions of the road. So that is even making it worse. So some portions of the road have caved in, and so people are having to use only one side of the road. So this is what users experience every day. Please help. So it's already a busy area, but now the bad road is making it worse. Yeah.
I also have a tweet here, a tweet or two. It says, it's J Babs tweeting, slow movement from Obanikoro inward Jibo, both the express and the service lane. So a lot of the time around that Obanikoro Jibo area, people just decide, oh, let me just take the service lane. It might be freer. But then again, that's where the buses, commercial vehicles are supposed to use to pick up passengers. So it does go in line with the fact that, hey, they're going to be slowing down, so there will be traffic there. But the main carriageway as well is also blocked. So it's very, very slow movement. The other messages we have here are from a little earlier.
We'll get on with the messages. Let me just quickly chip this in, especially regarding that area. You'd see that Oru to Obalende, there's a lot of traffic around there. And so part of what might be causing that traffic is because of people trying to make a detour. So it's actually easier. It's easier to go through Yaba access to connect to the third mainland bridge. But if you're connecting directly from Ouru, you spend a whole lot longer than you would have, you know, on a normal day. So if you decide to make a detour into Yaba to connect to the third mainland in front, you'd spend about an hour, 10, 15 minutes. But if you're coming directly on the third mainland bridge from Ouru, you might spend way more than that. In fact, you might spend up to 2 hours just getting to Obalende. However, from the moment you connect to the third mainland, you're joining the bumper to fender traffic, and it goes on like that till you get to Obalende on that bridge. So prepare your mind for that. Okay, so Titi, that one you were telling me about, the other tweets.
Yeah, I've actually lost the tweet now. I flipped over to another really important thing that was going on. Sorry, I lost that one. But it seems there are quite a lot of people that are reaching out, appealing to government about the roads, you know, and, you know, it's interesting that people are using social media to make sure they get positive messages across.
And it's working to a very large extent. It is working. Because there was this patchwork that was done somewhere around my area, and it wasn't, when the rains fell, like, you know that this job wasn't something that was meant to be permanent. So it was really muddy, marshy, and messed up. So at times, in a bid to do something, you know, flippantly like that, you mess the roads up more.
Okay, I'll be coming to join you guys, all right? It's just that whatever the case may be, if you are on that road leading from Yanoba to, you know, coming to the island, please be very patient. The roads there are really bad, really, really bad. So it's important to be patient. It's terrible the things that have been happening there. And of course, let's just try as much as possible to be careful while driving, all right? So I'm coming to join you guys right now.
All right. Yeah, so a lot of the time these communities actually put hands together they put money together to try and create temporary solutions.
You have to,
they don't have much of a choice.
You don't have much of a choice. Sometimes, once your road is flooded or there are bad portions of the road, people just come together. Some people bring blocks, some bring sand or gravel and just fill up the road. Otherwise, it might take a very long time before you get intervention. So that's,
there are some streets that you find some very big multinational companies, and you know that these companies can't actually afford to do the road. Now, I was wondering about this at one point, that why is it that they don't just pay for a road? Like, this is where your vehicles are passing. This is where your staff used to come in. Yes, the companies. But I heard also that sometimes the government doesn't let them do that.
That's one. Then secondly, roads are very expensive. So if you're going to build a durable road, it's going to be very expensive. It runs into billions. So even a short 500-meter road, not 1 kilometer, just 500-meter road can cost up to $1 billion in Nigeria. Wow. So if you're going to do proper asphalt and, you know, build a road, that's how much it's going to take.
Goodness me.
So sometimes when people talk about industries, I've always said it, that you cannot blame them. Yes, you might say they can put their money together, but you don't know how much they're owing banks in the first place.
Well, you have
just because you're seeing a big industry doesn't mean they're loan free. So
I've also heard a lot of information about some churches that take it upon themselves to also fix roads that lead to their church, so that their congregation can get in easily and leave easily and not cause traffic. There are quite a lot of things, you know, that I've been thinking about with this road issue. But over the weekend, we celebrated Father's Day.
That was actually yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, yes, of course. So how did it feel, you know? Your kids come meet you with breakfast in bed, or what happened yesterday?
No, I was up early and out of the house, so it was later on. So I, you know, celebrated Father's Day in church. And then when I got home as well, celebrated Father's Day. It was nice.
How did you celebrate it? That was the question she asked.
Okay, how?
You didn't really, but you...
Oh no, first there was a surprise in church. So after the service, a couple of people came together. They were like, "Oh, happy Father's Day." I'm like, "Oh, okay, very nice, thank you." So they said a prayer, and then they gave me this little hamper with nice fruits inside.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So that was
hamper.
Okay.
Wow. That was in church.
Then at home.
And then when I got home, my kids, you know, they were waiting and everything. "Oh, happy Father's Day." They gave me this little card, and it was nice as well. So
that was sweet.
It was quiet, but it was nice. It was nice to be appreciated as a dad.
I could tell. I felt that excitement when you were sending those messages.
Maybe just once a year, at least, we can manage that one. Mothers are like 3. And
others have like 7.
Yeah.
Mike, happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day.
So people tend to, it's more than just, it's a case of some responsibility. Father's Day is a celebration of responsibility. That's what I think, because you see people say Happy Father's Day to those who, to fathers who are around, and they start cutting it out. So that lets you know that by talking about father, you're not just talking about a biological offspring.
Yeah.
You're talking about somebody that has a role of a caregiver, a caretaker over someone else's life.
Yeah.
That's because that's why. So people say tell you that, okay, all deadbeat dads, no Father's Day for you and all of that.
Wow.
That means that means we all understand that it's more about celebrating responsibility or celebrating someone who has carried that responsibility. And it's cool.
You know,
I'm
it's
just
cool.
curious, so Yomi, your dad is still alive, right?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay. But what's your fondest memory of your dad?
Fondest memory. One thing I remember my dad for, my earliest memory of him, is actually sort of like my fondest memory. So between when I was between 5 and 7, I used to wait up for him to come home. So that was my fondest memory because he always looked forward to that as well. So if he hadn't seen me the whole day, that small window between 9:30 and 10 in the night, when everybody else was asleep, my mom would probably be asleep in the living room. My sisters were definitely asleep, but I would be awake to receive him. So that was.
That is so sweet. 5 years. That's a little one. What about you, Mike?
Probably 6. Yeah.
Your dad is still alive?
No. So let's see. Quite a number of them. But I would say there's something my father was quite an honest man to a fault, man. The guy was too principled. You know, my dad could say Sunday morning he could drive off if everybody was not ready to go for church.
It was one of the 1% of dads who would actually drive off.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
he could. In fact, there was a particular day he decided, okay, poor, too late, we're not going to church today, but sit down at home. Bring out your Bible.
After that, nobody was late
We
again.
don't like Bible. I'll open the Bible. I'm going to have church in the house.
Wow.
You know, so yeah. But one thing I would always remember him for, principles. Dude was like a principal guy.
What about yours?
Yeah, my dad is still alive and he's likely watching right now. Baba Titi. So
that's what we call him?
Yeah, Baba Titi, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he basically, when I was in secondary school, he would, my fondest memory is when he basically trained me how to go to the market by myself. Because my dad cooks and he goes to the market. And I was always so proud of the fact that, you know, he would give me, I think he would give me 500 naira and he would say, go to the market, get fish, get pepper, onions. He didn't tell me what to do. Come back and cook it, and by the time I get home, I must eat that food. So there was always another backup food at home, just in case I didn't make it. But I learned to negotiate, I learned to take transport, I learned to, just that responsibility of, this is a chore I want you to do, go out and get it done. I don't care how you make it happen, just make it happen. And I think it helped structure how I make things happen now. You know, because 500 naira was not enough to make a pot of soup. It was just not enough.
So guys, do you realize
it wasn't
something?
enough to make a fabulous, fantastic pot of soup. Yes.
This was not now.
No,
Yes, I'm saying compared to
What kind of soup
compared to what we as a family were consuming then. Yes, we had a lot of goodies inside.
Time out.
Is it tell us time out?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's time out, but he has a big shout out to all dads out
Yes.
there. And all the children who love them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, a big shout out to all the dads.
Daddy.
Well done, and don't give up. Keep trying.
Thank you, Baba Titi.
Even if the kids and the mothers
Why are you doing
annoy
kids
you,
and
just
mothers?
yeah.
Thank you, Baba Titi. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
All right, but then let's take a look at tech updates this Monday morning. I have something quite interesting. Now, gone are the days when you needed to know coding to create a video game. Now, this is interesting. Now, with Google's prototype game builder, you can make 3D games by simply selecting a series of cards, the tech giant announced in a blog post last week. Now, the card-based visual programming free on Steam for PC and Mac lets users drag and drop different cards that end up building the game. Now, through these steps, anyone with or without a coding background can create platforms, scoreboards, cars, and more. However, those with the technical expertise can opt to use JavaScript and tweak the existing application programming interface, the API, which is a series of tools and definitions used to connect software. Google is expanding the ability to use Yeah, so that's it for the game builder. That's it for the game builder. All right, and then Google, of course, is expanding the ability for you to use your iOS phone and, of course, your Google phone as for a two-factor authentication, as noted by 9 to 5 Mark. Now, due to limitations on how iOS works, the process is slightly different here. Instead of using Chrome to communicate with the device as used for the PC versions, the Android phone links up with Google's Smart Lock app instead. Now, that's quite an interesting one. You can use your Google phone and your Apple phone as a two-factor authentication, making it harder for hackers to get through to you. It's interesting. And moving over, Matt, Willow has developed an oral care device to improve brushing with a focus on plaque. The company says that the basic brushing only cleans 42% of dental plaque, while electric brushing cleans 46%. Now, the startup has worked with dentists to design its product. It still sounds a bit mysterious as the company isn't sharing much about the product. Now, the photo that you can see is the only image of the product available right now. And then this has been over and over, but then it's coming to fruition more. Flying taxis are undoubtedly an exciting concept, one that Uber has put a lot of work into making a reality. Now, in order to make these electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles to become a reality, they need to have proper batteries, approval from the Federal Aviation Administration, buy-in from cities, public acceptance, and of course, vehicle partners. Now, Uber is aiming to start testing these aircrafts next year and wants to commercially deploy Uber Air in LA, California, Dallas, Fort Worth, Frisco, Texas, and Melbourne, Australia in 2023. Now, right now, the model of Uber Air we may see in the skies will have a pilot on board. Now, the model Uber unveiled at Elevate seats 4 people and 1 pilot. That's quite interesting. All right, moving on from that now, this is tech and football. Spanish soccer's Premier League, La Liga, has netted itself a €250,000 fine for privacy violations of Europe's General Data Protection Regulation related to its official app. Now, as reported a year ago, users of the La Liga app were outraged to discover that the smartphone software does a rather more than show minute-by-minute commentary of football matches, but can use the microphone and GPS of fans' phones to record their surroundings in a bid to identify bars which are unofficially streaming games instead of coughing up broadcasting rights. Now, unwitting fans who hadn't read the tea leaves of opaque app permissions took to social media to vent their anger at finding they had been co-opted into an unofficial La Liga piracy police force as the app repurposed their smartphone sensors to rat out their favorite local bars. So this is it in detail. What happens is that the La Liga app used the phones of people who have the app on them to spy on their surroundings. So that means that they could hear and probably even see to know bars that were, of course, broadcasting matches without having the rights. So yeah, that's kind of real invasion of privacy. And that fine is definitely worth it. I think it's even too low. And moving on from that, details of the Pixel 4 have been swirling around this week. So Google decided to just leak the design of its next phone via its official Twitter account, revealing the backplate and the new camera module on the smartphone. And well, since there seems to be some interest, here you go. Wait till you see what it can do. Hashtag Pixel 4. That's what the tweet from the company's Verify at Made by Google account read. Now, renders of the Pixel 4 had leaked last week via smartphone blog Price Baba. Okay, so yeah, they just had to let it out there. It's already been leaked, so I think that was the smartest option that they could take. That's all on Tech Updates this Monday morning. There's still a lot more to come on the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this break.
So we're back from Sun City. And,
yes, so it was a nice trip.
for the rest of this week, you should, of course, make it a point of tuning in to Wake Up Nigeria once it's 6 a.m. And we're going to be right here waiting for you.
Yes, indeed. You can be sure that we'll be having a lineup, special lineup just for you. And we'll probably not be able to find anywhere else, that you won't be able to find anywhere else on TV. So just make sure you stay right here because it's uniquely made just for you. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across our social media platforms. Of course, use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
Very important. We also are very tech savvy around here. We have an app. It's available for downloads.
Website, one an app, we're everywhere, man.
Yes, so.
We're trying to track you down.
iOS, Apple, Android, any type of device you're using, you can watch us from anywhere in the world. Just download the app and make it happen.
Yeah, so guess who's around for breakfast today?
Chef Tina.
Hey guys.
We have Chef Tina here.
Good morning.
It's always great to have her on the show.
Same here. Titi, you're looking great.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
Yomi, happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Chef Tina.
Do you know what? In church yesterday, someone was saying, we just say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. What about those moms that, took the role of a father? So I had to go around to them and I was like, Happy Father's Day. And one lady just said, thank you so much for acknowledging us. So Happy Father's Day to all the moms that took the role of father.
Okay.
It's an interesting
this morning, but that's
to talk about.
Yeah.
But there are quite a lot of women that are, taking on the roles of
true.
fathers. There are a lot of them out there, and big ups to you. If you just tuned in, you're in time for our first musical performance for this week. And that'll be coming from Young Crazy.
Then we bring you a couple of stories from this week in history, from MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This, and to the invention of the Bunsen burners. I want to stick around for this.
On Monday Motivation today. Okay, well, before we talk about motivation, we have our auto segment that's going to be talking, of course, about hybrid vehicles. Now, this is something a lot of people didn't have enough information about, and we're making sure that you have everything you need to know. We started a few weeks ago, and we're still talking about it this week.
Now, motivation is really, really important, especially on a Monday. And Triple A is our coach for today.
Yes,
and it's going to be giving us tips on how to move from stagnancy to where you need to be.
We also have some great music coming your way.
Yeah, more music, more music.
Yes,
you
so.
know how it is on Wake Up Nigeria. And he's a very talented artist. He's going to be giving us the second performance this day. His name is Justin David.
Okay. Feels like we have a packed show today.
That MC Hammer you mentioned, I just remembered the day I decided to look at the artist behind certain songs. And I realized that some songs that I could have sworn were sung by Africans, people of African origin, were actually sung by Caucasians. It was shocking for me.
Oh, wow.
It was really shocking.
Okay, but I wanted to touch on this issue of copywriting. Especially
for music.
Yeah, for music, but then also for dance. So MC Hammer is actually the person who originated the Running Man. And the Running Man step is a step that's even still used till today. So I'm always wondering, did he
copyright it?
You should be paying MC Hammer.
Yeah, for that.
Whenever you dance,
Yes.
Running Man.
Wow.
Whenever you dance the Running Man.
We should pay him.
Yeah, because it was his step. He created that step. He created it. He owned it.
So as it is now, I'm saying something in the kitchen with a knife. We have to pay the person that brought knife first. Corn,
No,
everything.
but this is a dance that has stood the test of time.
No, not sarcasm.
When you see the moonwalk, you immediately think of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
When you see the Running Man, you immediately think of MC Hammer.
The moonwalk was never Michael Jackson.
It's going to be very hard.
It's actually from James Brown.
It wasn't even Michael Jackson.
It's going to be very hard to patent something that.
The origins are unknown. The true origins.
True origins are unknown. Because if somebody then brings the kind of dance that you are now claiming is yours from, say, Egypt, or they show you a video from something that somebody did in Ethiopia in 1911, then maybe that person should then be the one to sue you.
Yes,
so you never really know where it
and
came
talking
from.
about suing, you just reminded me of another thing that was trending over the weekend. So a particular network provider,
Yeah.
several people started loading up airtime.
Okay.
Getting as much as 120 gigabytes on that network.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, some people decided to create all these memes of, oh, they are coming after you,
Wow.
EFC is coming after you and everything.
Okay.
But guess what? Up until this morning, there's a particular group I'm on. Somebody said she still did it, 120 gig.
Oh, is there some special kind of method to get
There's
it
a
back
code
end?
for it, apparently.
Oh, no.
But the thing is, now some folks are now claiming that the money is being deducted from their bank accounts because of the BVN link to their phone numbers.
Right.
So it's still...
So people should
So
be
it's
careful.
like a technical glitch, basically.
Yes.
And that
People
kind
have
of
been
glitch.
taking 50,000 naira worth of airtime.
Wow. That's
Because
incredible.
that's 120 gig.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Some people got it as
Hopefully they won't have to pay that back somehow.
Some say they are already.
Oh, dear me.
Well, you're welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. It's another new week, yes.
Yeah.
And I like what I'll be doing this morning with Chef Tina. How was your weekend, Chef?
It was great. I rested.
You're glowing. I hope you didn't enjoy the 120 gig. Anyway, what are we making this morning?
Okay, this morning we are making steamed buttered corn and barbecue chicken.
Steamed buttered corn.
And barbecue chicken this morning.
Okay.
We already have our corn in, cooking already.
Yeah, let's leave that open for a few minutes so everyone can see what the corn looks like cooking. Then what else?
Then my barbecue, I'm going to marinate
Okay.
my barbecue.
So it's important to cut it like this so,
Yes, so
the
the sauce
seasoning can get
Gets through, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Now, of course, when we talk about boiled chicken, boiled corn, most people don't realize that boiled corn can also be buttered. Okay, she called it steamed corn.
Yeah.
It can also be buttered. It enhances the taste.
Very well.
And of course, includes the calorie intake. I couldn't resist doing that.
Clap for yourself this morning.
All right, let's talk about the ingredients. So we're making use of...
I have my chicken lap.
Okay.
Rosemary. I
and
have
your
my
rosemary.
butter. Cinnamon.
Chef Tina.
Then I have my, this is actually curry masala.
Okay.
Then I have my garlic.
Okay.
My
Your
garlic
ginger
and ginger. I have my
garlic.
seasoning cube,
Okay.
salt, then tomato ketchup,
Okay.
and a little of our
Cucumbers. So the tomato ketchup is for the
barbecue.
Barbecue itself.
When I'm done with it.
Okay. What is this?
It's actually soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. What are we doing first?
I'm just going to add little of my salt.
Okay. A little bit of salt. This is for the marinating, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have little of my seasoning cube.
Why are you saying little? Like, couldn't we like bath it so it can be
It will be
super
too,
tasty?
No. It will be too...
It will be too much?
Yes.
Okay.
So
then, what next?
I have my...
The garlic is strong.
Garlic. It's actually fresh. You know, we have two
types of
species
garlic.
of garlic. There's
Okay.
this one that is big, and we have those smaller ones. And this one actually is hotter than the other one. And it's bigger, yes.
Oh, hence the smell.
Yes.
Okay. So what else are you putting in? The ginger?
I'll put the ginger.
And the spices as well?
Yes.
But the butter has nothing to do with the chicken?
No.
It doesn't?
It
That's for the
doesn't.
corn alone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm really curious as to how you're going to butter that corn. But in the meantime, however, we have to take a quick break now. Music is next when we return. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria.
Now, on Mondays, you know, we have our This Week in History segment.
Yeah.
It's always pretty interesting. And we're going to be starting with something, I mean, we have music later on. We always have something entertainment-ish. But in 1818, British obstetrician Dr. James Blundell performs the first successful blood transfusion of human blood to treat postpartum hemorrhage. Wow.
Yeah.
He made efforts to treat hemorrhage by transfusion of human blood using a syringe. In 1818, following experiments with animals, Blundell used the patient's husband as a donor and extracted 4 ounces of blood from his arm to transfuse into his wife. Now, during the years 1825 to 1830, Blundell performed 10 transfusions, 5 of which were beneficial and published in his results. Now, he also invented a number of instruments for the transfusion of blood. He made a substantial amount of money from this endeavor, roughly $2 million, about $50 million today. Wow.
Just imagine, from one invention. So before then, there had been a lot of people transfusing animal blood in, sacks of pig skin and things like that. Some even tried transferring animal blood into humans to see if it was going to help.
Yeah.
But
He was the first successful.
And the person survived.
Wow.
So he discovered that person to person was safer than using things to package the blood and transfer it.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and it's still being used today, same method. Now, this week in history, the Bryan Adams hit, Everything I Do For You, is #1 for 16 weeks.
Wow.
Now, Bryan Adams sang this song, and he's a singer, songwriter, and it was the soundtrack from the album for the 1991 film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Now, it has the longest unbroken run at #1 in the UK, spending 16 consecutive weeks at the top of the UK singles chart. Do it for
Why were they lifting their hands like it was a worship song?
Oh, that song. Everything I do it for you.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
Really? Is it only in church you lift your hands?
They were lifting holy hands.
Yeah, really.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's such a sweet song.
Now, this week in history, Charles Goodyear invented vulcanized rubber.
Okay.
Of course, you know Goodyear tires.
Yeah.
Now, Charles Goodyear invented and developed a process to vulcanize rubber in 1839. Now, Goodyear discovered the process accidentally after 5 years of searching for a more stable rubber and stumbling upon the effectiveness of heating. At last, he found that steam under pressure applied for 4 to 6 hours around 270 degrees Fahrenheit gave him the most uniform results. Goodyear saw rubber as what we know it to be today. Now, the first and most versatile of modern plastics. He perceived it as vegetable leather.
Yeah, that's what he called it.
Vegetable leather, very flexible, and that defied the elements. An elastic metal, a wood substitute that could be shaped in molds.
And from that one invention, the whole motor industry
was transformed.
Yeah. So because it was so durable, it could be used for so many different things.
Stretched.
Yeah.
And used for tires and stuff.
So that was where plastics even started from, because just different variations of heat, adding different things to rubber, just improved what could be done with that particular material. And it's so interesting.
That's amazing.
May you find an invention that will change the lives of people.
Well, that's an amen. Say amen to that.
Amen.
Yeah. We have Justin David. He's not an MC Hammer. He's got a keyboard. Now, he's a performing artist and a professional karaoke anchor and the pioneer of Epic Music Band. He is ready to give us a musical performance this morning. Hey, Justin.
All right. No. Oh, oh, oh. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, yeah. No, yeah. Oh, I found one for me. Darling, just dive right in, yeah. and follow my lead. But I found a girl that's beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes, you're all than mine. So baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, now barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you look at me, I whispered underneath my breath, and you heard it, baby. You look so perfect tonight. Oh, no, no, no. I found a woman, yeah, stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dream, my hope. Someday I'll share our home. I found a lover, oh baby, carry more than just my secrets. Carry love, carry children of the home. We were still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds.
Everything feels perfect today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're back. All right. You're welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm in the vibes, feeling some good mood. Chef Tina. Today we are making steamed boiled corn.
Buttered corn.
Still buttered corn. And we're also making barbecue chicken.
Yes.
Our chicken is in the oven right now.
Yeah. And our corn is already cooked.
Yes.
So we're going to butter it now. So I have it in my pot.
Wait, you butter it while it's in the pot?
Yes.
Wow, I'm so glad I'm not the one cooking them. The ingredients are on your screen right now in case you want to scribble them. You might have missed them earlier. Okay, so.
So I have my butter.
Okay. What are we doing?
I'm going to add little of the
garlic. And ginger. Seasoning as well? Or no need for that?
Just little salt.
Oh, so no seasoning?
No seasoning to it.
So this is the secret to buttered corn?
Yes.
Sold with barbecue. Do not be scoping us. Corn that I buy 100 naira will be sold to me for 500 because it's buttered corn. See, Chef Tina has given you the secret today. You can make it at home now. When you're having guests over, I think the corn is in season.
It's in season.
So
now,
you can just do buttered corn for them. They'll say, you're such a super chef.
You know, different from the usual corn you eat out there. It tastes really, really good.
I'll confirm it soon, don't worry. Oh, so the butter is actually going to do the frying.
It will do the frying.
So there's nothing like rolling the butter, rolling the corn in the butter. This is how it works.
This is how it works.
Aha.
Because you're already using the butter all over the corn right now.
Okay, okay. So you actually fry it. Is it possible to put it in the oven, for example?
You can put it in the oven, and another way you can do it is when you're done cooking, you just use your butter, to just rub it.
Okay.
But this is the best way, so the butter can really go in. There are some people, when they are done eating corn, that's roughage part of it, they will want to chew it. I don't know if you did it when you were young.
So it's possible to chew it now?
Yes. because the butter goes in.
So it's very tasty.
Very tasty.
So you enjoy the nutrients of your corn very well.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Now I notice sometimes you get it looks like roasted corn.
When
like maybe the corn has been grilled or something.
Yes.
It's possible to do it that way as well.
It's possible to do it.
Okay. So you can have your buttered corn.
You just put it in the oven, so you get it.
But it's recommended to boil first.
Yes.
Okay. So the boiling before anything else, whether you want to grill it, you want to roast it, you want to fry it, just boil it first.
Yes. So it's ready.
I thought we were going to let it get brown like...
No.
Oh, okay. That one is for the roasted
ones.
It's
for the roasted one. So we already have it ready.
Okay.
And you can see how Squeezy is looking. Looks as if maybe we use...
I've actually seen this served, that it will be cubed. I've seen it served like that. So it was done this way before being cubed?
Before being cubed, yes.
Oh, wow.
So any shape you really want to get it to, you can actually maybe reduce the size, increase it, however you want it. Then another way, you can actually fill it into a stick as a kebab.
After cutting it into cubes?
Yes, as a kebab corn.
Oh, wow. So, this is really nice. So boil the... Could you run us through the process, especially for those who missed it earlier?
Okay, I actually cooked my corn.
Okay.
I steamed it. Okay. I cooked it, and I had just salt. When it was about getting ready, I added salt, because when you put salt, immediately you want to cook your corn.
It gets salty?
It gets, not salty rather, it won't get cooked easily.
Oh.
I've tried it time after time. Growing up, I was like, what is it? Then I tried it, I saw the difference when you cook here. So then when you're done with it, just take out the water and put your corn in the pot or maybe frying pan or whatever you want to use, and add your butter. You can add your spice, whatever spice you feel like using. Then you just stir fry it a little bit. So all the butter, you can see there's nothing here now. All the butter will just go into the maize, and voila, ready to serve.
So you said something about the boiling of corn thing. You know, you actually make a lot of sense. When we were growing up, when my mom boils corn, it comes out nice. When we buy corn, it comes out nice. But when we boil it, no matter how long we boil this thing, it just doesn't come out right. Until one day, we were trying to form, we could do it ourselves. I finally asked my mom, I was like, Mom, why is that when you boil corn, it comes out well? And she was like, you just boil it. I was like, just boil it. Like, after putting your salt. She said, hey, that's what the problem is. You wait for the corn to be boiled before, and then it makes more sense seeing that when you go to buy corn outside, the cobs are put in the salt water.
In the salt water, yeah.
So you always wonder why
dip it in there, and when you're eating it, you feel that saltiness in it. You know?
Okay.
And there's another thing about this maize that we have. Most times, when we go for party and we see rice, eba, stuffs like that, we need to be creative, really being creative. Something like this, if you have maybe a get-together party, you can actually have this and you serve it, and you know that your guests, they'll be well.
So like small chops now, you just have your samosa, your mosa, your spring rolls, your buttered corn.
Let me tell you, small chops is actually fading away because we have a lot of other things, to replace that.
Especially healthy options.
Yes, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
Really, really expensive. So we have other things, to just...
So this one is like corn of 200 naira. And look at the magic we've created.
Yes.
Buttered corn. When you go to an eatery, you know how much you pay for this. Thank you so much, Chef Tina.
You're welcome.
And of course, we're still having our chicken in the oven, barbecue chicken, ready for the final run. And talking about the final run, we're going to have another taste of super music. Hey, earlier he sang Perfect for us. Now he's going to sing, let me preempt him, Ordinary People by John Legend. He will not sing it though. I know Mike will tell him not to sing it. I know. In fact, I'm just tired of this mic. Anyway, Mike, over to you.
Chef Tina, small shops cannot go out of this thing. Don't try yourself. Small shop. How can you have events without small shops? That's not an event too. Anyway, I've got Justin David in the house. Wonderful, great performance the first time. And you seem like you've been doing this for quite a very long time.
Yes,
how long?
Let me see, 13 years now.
13?
Yes, sir.
How did it start for you? How did you discover this wonderful talent of it? I know how to sing before. Like if I sing here, me and you will be competing. Yeah? But how did you discover your talent?
It started up in primary school.
Yeah?
I was the biggest in the class, but...
Biggest?
Yeah.
I feel like this.
What? I was the biggest, like.
Okay.
Like, so, I'm a teacher, he always beats me every time. So it was like, but he just had this impression about me that this boy has something.
Okay,
So he just pushed me, he said, anytime, and during break time, they know me, I'm always number one when it comes to noise making list, yes. I'm always...
List up, so even if you're...
Number one.
Yeah, so there's a particular day I wasn't even in class, my name was on the list.
Wow. So
when they call that... So you're like that, like your name was steady, your noise
because I'm always making noise, making music, writing songs in class.
In class?
So as in writing songs, good songs.
And were your parents or your guardians, those around you, were they supportive of your dream?
At the initial stage, no, but at the later on, when things started going, when they started saying that, wow, this guy's actually good.
Wow, yeah.
So they started like, okay, because they never allowed me to go out, things like that. But after they realized how good I am at what I do.
And what you do, which you are.
They actually allowed me. So
continue.
Yeah, so I started having exposure, going to places, going to listen to live performances, things like that, just trying to get one or two.
How much has, I know you do live covers, how much has doing live covers or doing covers of other artists, how much has it helped shape your talent?
Currently, it hasn't really brought me to the limelight, but it's helping me as a singer.
Okay, so but you also have your own original compositions,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I have my original songs. I have my original songs, but yeah, it's just a matter of time, and I didn't just want to just drop them. I want to drop them at the right time.
Yeah, a lot of people love listening to maybe classics and all of that, and you have a wonderful voice, so I don't think it's a problem dropping, covers of classics and all of that. But you have any plans for an album anytime soon or anything like that?
Yeah, I do, but just, as a normal Lagos guy now, we're hustling and we're just trying to push it, trying to get one or two superts, and
the hustle will pay, man.
Amen.
It will pay.
Amen.
Okay,
amen.
So what song are we performing now?
All of Me by John Legend.
All of Me by John Legend. Big shout out to your keyboardist, by the way.
Samo.
What's his name? Samo.
Yeah.
Well done, Samo. Wonderful. You guys are too much. All right, take it away. All of Me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. One time. What would I do without your smart mouth, drawing me in, you kicking me out? Got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm your magical Mr. Right, and I'm so dizzy. Don't know what it means, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curls and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your whole to me, and I give my whole to you. You're my hand and my beginning, even when I lose and win. 'Cause I give you whole. Baby, and you give me all of you. Oh, baby,
Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down when I'm, oh baby, through every moment. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my first distraction, my rhythm and blues. Guess I'm singing and singing, oh baby, my hate just for you. My head's on the door, but I'm getting fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, yeah. 'Cause
It's been a solid 2 hours on the show already. Thank you for starting your week with us on Wake Up Nigeria.
2 hours already, and some people are just waking up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wake Up Nigeria remains your #1 show. One stop shop for everything that you need: lifestyle, entertainment,
health,
news, health,
travel, everything.
Yeah, right here on the show. My name is Yomi Ogbe.
And I'm Titilayo Oniso. Now, another way you can watch us is to stream live with us. Now, if you need to leave the house, need to get something done, just take a mobile device and go to tvcontinental.tv and Facebook Live at TVC Connect. Please join our e-community, send in those comments, say hi, wave. Use one of those wave emojis. And,
like that.
Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. Now, the TVC app is also available for download. You can check it out on any Android device and the iOS stores as well. The app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Of course, we still have Ayo Shofela coming into the studio, or into the garden as it is. Now, she'll be educating us on hybrid vehicles and how they differ from the conventional ones that everyone is used to. Now, this conversation is continuing because we're in 2019. Things are changing all over the world, and you need to know this.
We are playing catch up.
Yes, sir.
Then we have another musical performance. Now, you guys heard young Justin just now. Now, we're going to be having young Crease joining us. Now, for some motivation, Triple A is in the building.
Yes, so.
He's going to be talking about something
Stagnation.
Interesting. He's talking about stagnation.
Yes, sir.
That's a heavy one.
A lot of people attribute stagnation to spiritual.
The people from the village.
People from the village.
Yes, sir.
So they say the spirit of delay.
Yeah.
But we're going to be talking about that.
There's just something quite interesting. I was having an enlightening discourse with a friend, and we're just talking, very open-minded, and he said he spoke about speaking good, right? Positive affirmations about our country and everything. And I said, look, I wasn't spiritual, I was just being very pragmatic. I said, look, from when I was a kid, so my mom, they had this prayer group and they used to be around the nation, and they've been praying and speaking positive. But I'm afraid about the kind of country I'll leave for my kids as it's going. So I said, as much as it is important to speak, the corresponding action is even important.
Yeah, more important.
Because I think as a country, we are speaking positively, but we are reaping the results of our actions, which is why we are where we are. So when people talk about stagnation and think about something, that's when it just came into my mind and all of that. As a country, and for me, I feel like, I feel like stagnation, there's really not like stagnation. You're either progressing or regressing.
So you never,
that's what
you never really actually
you never really, because when you stay in one place, the people leave you and they move.
Go ahead.
And you're actually regressing. So
yeah, well, when you think about it like that.
Some people see it as not regressing. It's because while you are there are still people trying to come and meet you. So at least you are just there.
Yeah.
Or at least you're making a little
at least you are still there.
Sadly, knock on wood, it always feels like there other people in worse situations than us. So in Nigeria, we feel, there are a lot of people that feel that we should be a lot further along, but there are some countries that are still behind us in many different ways. We are still
few
blessed.
countries.
Very few. There are not so many.
But there are some.
There are not so many.
There are some. At least there are some.
A big shout out, by the way, to Rwanda, when I think about the things that are happening there. Considering that just a few decades back, the genocide and everything.
Gosh.
But man, those guys have car manufacturing plants in the country.
Yeah.
These are things that we had before. I remember going past
we have car manufacturing plants.
Plants. We just have one local.
He's talking about the plural.
There's a way it was. I mean, you talk about even the foreign or the European companies having headquarters here.
Yes.
They do have that.
Yes.
Okay. Those guys have gone far. They're even using drones to deliver. It was blood or they've gone.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are really amazing. They got a lot of international support that they took advantage of.
Yes.
They took advantage of it, moved past.
And then there are some conspiracy theories that say that because the population is actually significantly less, they were able to. You know what I'm talking about. The population is less, so they were able to manage their funds a lot more.
Yeah. Whether or not it's less or even higher, there is no excuse for us. Because if China, with how many millions of people, can still achieve so much, what excuse do we have?
It's a regular automatic segment, and I've got Ayo in the house. It's good to have you, Ayo. Long time. Okay, so we've been dealing with hybrid cars for quite a while now, but today we're looking at the advantages and disadvantages of hybrid cars, right? Exactly. What we have here, this is a non-hybrid car, so we'll try and let you know how it goes, but this one is non-hybrid. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Okay, let's recap what we already know. What is a hybrid car? What is a hybrid car? Let's recap what we already know.
We said a hybrid car is a car that has two power sources.
Okay.
And like this that has just one power source, which is the engine we're looking at here.
Okay.
The hybrid has two. It would have this kind of an engine, and it has an electric power source.
Okay.
You have the battery and the motor.
And they work independently of each other.
Exactly.
Whenever you can switch between them and all of that.
You cannot switch. It's automatically done.
Okay.
So when you're driving, the battery has been programmed, or the computer has been programmed to know when to switch from the battery to the engine and when to switch from the engine to the battery. You don't have anything to do.
What makes it know that this is the time to switch over?
All right, the battery has a certain level. I think on some of them it's programmed not to go below 50%.
Okay.
On some of them you could go slightly below. But once it gets to 50%, the computer automatically switches to the engine. Now, while you're driving, the engine is charging the battery.
Charging the battery. Exactly. But is there a primary source? Is there one that it uses by default?
By default, it uses the battery.
The battery. All right, good. All right. So now, let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages. Let's start with the advantages. What are the advantages of a hybrid car?
Fuel economy. That is the major advantage.
That's the major advantage.
A hybrid.
Fuel economy. Okay.
We don't know how fuel is in this country. And the kind of situations and things we face with fuel.
Okay.
So when it comes to the hybrid, it's a go-to thing. You can just forget about fuel issues.
All right.
Because you can fill your tank, and on a very good hybrid can go 2 weeks without fueling.
Without fueling.
Yeah.
But okay, we're still talking advantages. No, we're still talking advantages. We'll get to the but at the disadvantages.
Okay.
So fuel efficiency. What next are we looking at when it comes to
the vehicle is usually lighter than the conventional cars.
Lighter.
Now,
does lighter mean better?
Lighter means that the parts that are being used to make it are not as heavy as the conventional car, and that's because they look at the battery. On the conventional car, you have the engine. The engine is rugged. It can take just about any kind of weight. But on a hybrid, they look at the battery and they don't want to put too much strain and stress on the engine. So they try to make all the parts very, very light.
Oh, okay. Now that's quite something.
The car is pretty light. Now that has its own disadvantage as well, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay. So are we done with advantages?
Those are the
major advantages. Okay. Now and then let's get to the disadvantages. I'm sure it's not cheap.
So what's your bet? Yeah.
I'm sure it's not cheap, right? Because you're talking about two power sources here, and that will mean that not just anybody can fix a hybrid car. You don't just take a hybrid car into any shop and all of that.
Exactly.
How are you going to be sure that you are taking your hybrid car to the right place to fix it whenever you need to maintain or develop some sort of faults?
The first thing you need to look out for is whether the mechanic or the technician working on it is conversant with what a hybrid is. By the time you throw 2 or 3 questions at the mechanic and he's like, no, yes.
What if I don't know those questions to throw? Because as a driver, I love vehicle owners. They just don't look. It can take me. I get in, I start, kick, and I move. I come back. I don't know so much about the car. You have many car owners like that.
Let me give you one example of how I get to know when people don't know anything about hybrids. Like we had someone once, and the guy didn't really know much about hybrids. The hybrid came into the workshop, and he tried to start it. Now a hybrid doesn't start the normal way a conventional car starts. The engine is not going to make that noise. So he was busy trying and forcing the key, and he was like, this car is not starting, this car is not starting. Already I knew, guy, you don't know what you're doing.
So what was happening there at that time?
At that point in time, when you turn the key, the battery takes over. So you're not going to hear any sound. In fact, you could be standing beside the car and it's on and you don't even know it's on.
Are you saying that from there you can accelerate, you can move on?
Once you shift the gear selector to drive, the car is moving.
The car is moving? Are you serious? And it's silent, it's not very, so much of a noise? Silent. Okay. Right, what other disadvantage can we also...
So when it comes to cost is on both sides.
Okay.
Buying the car is very expensive. Fixing the car is also expensive. When it comes to fixing and maintenance, it is going to be expensive. Finding a good mechanic is difficult.
It is also difficult, kind of exactly.
Then they are not built for heavy duty kind of thing. So where you have cars that can go through just about any kind of situation, the roads, hybrids are not built for that.
Not built for that.
Cars coming in now, they are beginning to advance on technology, but the current ones we have are not built for those kind of
Thank you very much, Ayo. If you can arrange the cost, hybrid car is not bad. It's not a bad idea. Thank you very much. All right, so that was it. Advantages and disadvantages of a hybrid car. You make your choice what you need. Let's head back into the studio. Titi's on standby. Hello, Titi.
You already know it's time for music. Ugeli-born Young Crease came out. Now, he came into prominence with the release of his song Ishe, and that dropped last year, and it was an instant hit. He's upped the ante with his recent work, which is set to drop and shock his fans. In fact, I think he just dropped one hit about a few days ago.
Yeah.
Now, before that happens, he's going to be giving us a musical performance. But it's really interesting. I've been looking at the hashtag on your cap.
Okay.
It says YAKEP.
Yeah, Yak EP.
Okay.
Yak. That's the theme. That's the title of the EP.
Okay.
Then the EP itself is extended play, which is like a shorter version of an album.
All right. So Yak means you already know.
No, that kind of thing. So if you know if you're not work, you gotta stay woke. You gotta be aware.
All right. Okay. So the name of the track you're performing today is
Stand Proper.
Stand Proper. So is there a particular way I'm supposed to stand right now?
You already understand that diet.
I should stand proper.
Just the way you
Let me
give.
leave the space for you. It's all about you now.
All right.
You already know. It's a boy I Chris.
Now, Alex Adefemi is a peak performance, business, and life coach, popularly known as AAA. He is passionate about helping businesses and corporate leaders unlock their potential. And this morning, we're going to be talking about stagnancy and how to get out of it. Wow. That's a good thing for Monday Motivation today.
Yeah, it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
I've been saying good morning these days. I've been replacing morning with money.
Good morning. I like
morning.
it. Good morning. Yeah, that's sufficient motivation for some people. Now, we're approaching the end of the first half of the year, 2019. And the second half of the year is going to be starting in another, maybe another 10 to 14, 10 to 13 days, in about 2 weeks. And a lot of people would feel like, I have not made any progress.
I know that feeling.
What else can I do and things like that. But that's even for the short term, January to, you're looking at January to June. But there's other people who maybe for the past 5 years, they don't feel like they've made progress in their career or
business,
in their personal lives, and relationships and everything. Let's talk about stagnancy and what it is.
No, so basically stagnancy is basically, I would say it's more of an emotional, of a mental state. Most of the times, I remember you guys having a conversation about it earlier.
Yeah.
And I was watching. And Mike was saying something about the fact that he didn't think there was anything as stagnancy. He said that you're moving forward or you're moving backwards.
Yeah.
And then Mary did counter it with a thought of her own and said, it's stagnancy because other people come and meet you where you are. So that's it. Stagnancy is actually, it's a mental state. Whether you're stagnant or not, it's really you that decides whether you're stagnant. You might be in a place where you feel okay, you're comfortable, you're fine, you don't want to go beyond here. And somebody else will look at you and say, you've been here for too long. And so you're stagnant there. And for you, you're fine where you are. This is where you want to be for the next 5 years. And so you stay there for the next 5 years.
So are you the person who decides whether you're stagnant or not?
You are the one who it's your choice. It's your decision. So somebody else might look at you and say, okay, oh, you should be doing better than where you are right now. You might look at yourself and say, no, this is where I need to be right now. Unless you look at yourself and say, I am not where I want to be, I shouldn't be here now, then you become stagnant.
So one of the things you're saying is that even though people can be looking at you from the outward, from the outward appearance and saying, oh, he's a rich guy, he's successful, he's made so much progress in his career, you as an individual can actually feel that you've stagnated.
Okay, so take for instance, you can be, you can feel that you're stagnated. And but at the same time, somebody else might look at you and say, you're doing very, very well. So sometimes people tell me, they say, oh, AAA, I see all the stuff you're doing. It's amazing. And I'm like, thank you. But there's so much that we're supposed to be doing right now. So even as of now, for me, the yardstick is we're far behind what we're supposed to be doing right now. So it's actually your choice to decide whether you're stagnant or not.
Okay, so dealing with it. For people who actually feel this way. So let's focus initially on career. So someone, they got a job 3 years ago, they were excited about it, but 3 years down the line, same salary, same role, doing the same thing day in, day out, especially if maybe you're a banker, you're a teller, and all you do is count money, or you're a customer care person,
and you've been in the same,
same routine.
I mean, exactly.
And there's a standard answer for everything in customer care. We'll call you back, things like that. So if you've been in that kind of situation and you're feeling stifled, feeling stagnated, what do you do?
Okay, so basically, the first thing I would advise is, first of all, you need to have a clear vision of what you want for your life. Now, I always encourage people, and I share this, I call it the 50-year challenge. I don't know if I've discussed it with you. The 50-year challenge. You want to look at, in 50 years' time, where would you be? So in 50 years' time, at the least, you'll be 70-something, I expect. So where would you be? Have a clear picture of where you want to round it all off, literally. And then when you have a clear picture, and that includes your life, your career, your business, your finances, your marriage, your family, all of that encapsulated into that 50-year challenge. So you take a look and say, okay, 50 years time, this is what I woke up on my birthday 50 years from now, and what will I be writing about my last 50 years? So you need to first of all, start with that picture. It's always better to start with a grander picture of your future, where it's all going to end. And then you now work back to now, you understand? And then now ask yourself, okay, what are the steps I must take now? So if you find yourself in that situation, and if you have a 50-year vision, a grander vision of your life, you can then say, okay, right now in this plan that we have ahead of us, should we still be here now? If we can still be here for another 1-2 years, it's fine. You can still stay another 1-2 years, but you already have a picture that you're working towards. So you know you only have 1 or 2 more years on this job to move on. But if you don't have a clear picture, you can't just tell yourself you want to get out of here. To where?
Sometimes though, I think one of the things that people also face is the situation where options are limited. So if you live in Nigeria, if you live in Nigeria,
don't you think that's a paradigm on its own?
Well, so if you live in Nigeria, people might feel that, okay, yes, I want this dream, yes, I want to achieve this, but I should be thankful for what I have, which is this job, which I know lots of other people want.
Yeah.
Because there are no jobs
Definitely.
out there. So, but I still feel stagnated. So what do I do in the immediate, for instance? What are is there going to be a mental shift for me to be satisfied?
Of course there is. Now, first of all, you should be thankful for where you are. That's one. Secondly, after being thankful for where you are, you should also ask yourself, where should you still be here now? Or where should you be next? So now the first things you need to do, first of all, is you need to find a new strategy. Now, if that's not working for you, if where you are right now is not working for you, you're not getting the results that you want, or you are a bit tired, or you're feeling stuck with where you are at the moment. And it might not just be your career. It might be a relationship. It might be your business. It might be your personal life, your personal growth. Yeah. And you feel you're not growing beyond where you are right now. You need to really look at it. So first of all, you need to ask yourself, do I have the right information? That can inform me, that can help me? Because your information determines your intelligence, and intelligence determines your life. Right. Or your results, let me put it that way. So if you have the right information, it gives you, the quality of information you have, determines the quality of intelligence you have. That means determines the quality of ideas, the thoughts, the solutions that can come to your head. And that will determine the kind of results that you can get. All right, so you need to first of all look at your information.
Yeah, so let's talk about personal lives. You know, sometimes I'm happy with my career, I'm a high flyer, I'm making progress. Yeah. But at home, I'm not really making progress. Or personally, I don't feel spiritually fulfilled. You know, so there are different things that bring fulfillment to someone. Maybe their relationship, maybe they want to get married, they want to have kids and all of that, but things don't seem to be moving as quickly as they should, or there's certain things that are stopping them from achieving that full potential and that full happiness, as it were. So what do people do in this particular instance?
Okay, so there are two things I want us to put in mind. There's what you call your story, and then your state. Now, your story is what you're telling yourself per time. So everybody has a story you're telling yourself that's brought you to where you are, that's kept you where you are currently. So your story might be that, oh, you're not in a fulfilling relationship as a guy, is that all women are the same. All they want is money. That's a story. And for a lady, your story might be, all men are the same, and they are just, all they want is sex. Right. That's another story on its own. So what your story will either elevate you or keep you down. So you need to check what story are you telling yourself. And basically your story is your beliefs about your life, about what is happening around you. So you need to check that, your stories and your beliefs. And then you also need to check your, I mentioned your state. You need to also check your state. What state is, now your state is your mental state, literally. And your mental state can either be resourceful or unresourceful. So if you're in a resourceful state, what happens? Let me ask you, if you are joyful, if you're feeling good, you're feeling happy, do you think you will see possibilities in that state of mind?
Yes, definitely.
You're likely to see more possibilities. If somebody suggests something to you, you're likely to be more open-minded about it and try it. And that's how people succeed more in life. Why? Because they are in a resourceful state that aids them to be able to bring out all their resources and get results. But we're in an unresourceful state. When you are upset, maybe some people just betrayed you, stabbed you in the back, and you're feeling very, very hurt, and somebody brings ideas to you about certain things, are you likely to be open-minded about it?
Not likely.
You're not likely. Yeah. So now, that's resourceful and unresourceful state. Now, when you need to be able to create a resourceful state for yourself consistently so that you can be able to break out of whatever stagnation you feel that is around you. Remember I said, stagnation is a thing of the mind. It is you that decides whether you're stagnated or not.
Really, really important. I mean, you're going in a direction where you're actually now telling people that it's a mental thing. Yes. So I'm thinking about my life and I'm saying to myself that, okay, I need to move from here to another place. And so I require a plan.
So initially I mentioned your information. Yeah. The information that you have available to you affects your intelligence, and that determines your results. Then you also, it's beyond just information. The information are a dime and a dozen. It's your strategies. They're a dime and they are everywhere. I mean, if you want to lose weight today, I'm sure if you pick up your phone now, and you will find different types of strategies to losing weight. But does that actually get you to lose weight? No. What gets you to result in, there's a saying that knowledge is power, right? But knowledge is not really power. What knowledge is potential power. Applied knowledge is power. So it's until you take that knowledge and you put it to use that it becomes power for you to get results. Wow. So it's not just stopped at the information. You must also put yourself in the right state to use the information that you have. You must put yourself in the right state, and you must have the right strategies, right states, and the right story as well. Having the right mindset towards it, and okay, I can get results. I can move myself from where I am to where I want to be. I have what it takes. This thing was made for me to achieve. And then finally, you need to take what I call powerful and massive action. You see, a lot of times, what can change your state, it can be instant. Your change of state can be instant. All you just need to do is to move your body. Get up, move forward, take an action. What happens a lot of times is that when you take actions, you begin to get other ideas that can help you to get, to advance from result. But if you stay where you are and you keep asking yourself, maybe this is what I need to do. Analysis, paralysis, that's what it's called.
Wow, thank you so much, Triple A, for joining us this morning.
Thank you again.
And I think the key that we're taking from you this morning is take action. Don't just stay there. One of the things that you have to do if you feel yourself stagnated, it's time to take action.
Take action. Take powerful and massive action.
Thank you so much for teaching us something this morning.
Yeah.
And as a reward, as usual, we're going to be taking you to the kitchen this Monday morning.
I've been going to the kitchen of recent.
To motivate you as well.
I've been going to the kitchen of recent. I don't know how come that is happening.
Sufficiently motivated to...
I've been going to the kitchen of recent.
It's too much.
Too much kitchen for Triple A.
Welcome.
Next week his topic might change.
Why now, Mike?
It might be related to food.
All right, then. You're welcome to the kitchen. Thank you.
Good morning, Chef.
Today's chef is Chef Tina, and she's made us this fantastic breakfast. Tell us quickly about it while our guests dig in.
Okay, we have a steamed buttered corn and barbecue chicken. So I made the corn and I just added butter to the buttered corn.
Oh, okay, so that's
where's
Triple A's own?
Cucumbers with it.
Where's Triple A's own? I'm cutting his chicken.
This is only for guests.
Have a taste
Okay,
and tell us what you think.
Chef Tina, I don't understand.
Of course, we have
Everyone else.
Justin David here as well. Justin David was singing his heart out and we felt he needed to be able to
So
taste
I'll
this
recommend
as well.
something for you. Dip the buttered corn in the ketchup.
Hey!
And thank me
And
after.
the butter.
All right, go ahead.
Where's the
Buttered corn, the corn.
Oh, the buttered corn.
Yes, so there's
okay,
buttered
wow.
corn there.
Yeah,
All right.
just dip it in the ketchup. Then you give me special
Triple A,
thanks.
don't do what you don't know.
You never know.
You will not say it's Mary that told you. Don't do what you don't know.
Interesting, huh?
They're just, all we're hearing is And as they're
That's what you
trying
need to hear.
As they're trying the food, we want to say a big thank you to our friends over at Homely NG for the kitchen accessory.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
as usual, we'll be here again bright and early tomorrow and throughout the week. You should make sure that you join us.
Well done, Chef Tina.
Thank you so
As
much.
usual.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.